everyone, and welcome to the 2024 Football Press Conference sponsored by Moe's. Today, joining us is head coach Atiba Bradley, wide receiver tight end Deontay Campbell, and defensive back Marco Collins. Joining us up first is going to be Atiba Bradley with opening statements.
Good afternoon. Appreciate you all joining us today. Just some brief comments about last weekend's, 3 days ago, the game at Mo West. I'm proud of our guys for competing, proud of our guys for finishing. A little disappointed the way we came out. We weren't ourselves, and it showed up in the first half. So we got it corrected. The leadership of the team weren't happy with the direction the game was going, and we flipped it around. And so we were outplayed in the first half, and then I felt like we outplayed them in the second half, minus the kickoff. We really did a nice job of bottling them up and limiting their big plays, and that's how we were able to get ourselves back into the game. And so what do you take away from it? What do you learn? I look back 2 weeks ago versus Pitt State, and we came out firing in that first quarter. We were hot. We were rolling. And then this week we come out a little sluggish, and we get rolling in the third quarter. And so we got to figure out how do we get the start from Pitt State and the finish of Mo West. And I think if we can glue those two things together, we'll be a really good football team that'll win a lot of games.
Coach, obviously, kind of in the 0-3 hole, but, what's it really going to take to kind of climb out of this to, get some wins on the board? No
different than falling behind in a game. It's one play at a time. It's one practice at a time. It's one weight session at a time. We didn't fall down 3 games in a blink of an eye, and so it takes time to work ourselves out of it, and we're just looking at it one game at a time.
Is it just kind of something scheming-wise or just kind of mental errors, that's kind of led to this point in the season?
Yeah, I think maybe a little bit of both. And so when I say that, I think the variable that we're not putting into the equation is that we face really good football teams. Pitt's a really good football team. Mo West is gonna win some games in this league, and so we're not going against any JV squads or anything like that. But because we're facing good teams, I think some of our mistakes are magnified. Versus if we went against a lesser opponent, we would be able to survive those mistakes, and you wouldn't even notice them. But it's the MIAA. Your mistakes are going to get magnified, and they're going to get put on film.
And going against Northwest Missouri State, another good team that's been historically really good. Yeah. They also have a slow start, 1-2 on the season. So what's kind of the game plan going to them this week?
Hey, don't want to. When you're dealing with the MIAA, you guys are going to hear me say this a lot. When you're dealing with the MIAA, stop looking at records. They lost to a Minnesota State Mankato team that's nationally ranked, that's undefeated right now. They rolled in a new quarterback. They've got a lot of newness on their team, and so what you're seeing from them is they made that week 0 to week 2 jump. They've gotten better each week. The quarterback's starting to get comfortable. They're relying on a front defensively with 4 upperclassmen, juniors and seniors, and so don't let the record fool you. They are a very, very capable football team. They're a very capable program. Rich Wright, he has a national title ring sitting on his desk. He's got a couple of them. So he's a dang good coach, and he's got his football team trending in the right direction.
What was something from last week that you saw that you can really implement putting into the coming weeks going forward?
Yeah, I think offensively we just got to continue to put the ball in our playmakers' hands, whether it be throwing the football, whether it be handing the ball off. We've got to continue to find those guys and highlight them and figure out ways to get their production up. Defensively, we got to swarm. It pains me to say this as a defensive coach, but one-on-one matchups in defense usually don't favor the defense, and so defense is a collective effort. We got to have 11 guys running to the football, causing havoc.
Coach, we're becoming a one-dimensional team. We're having trouble running the ball. We kind of fixed that some in the second half. Is that what the focus is going to be this week on helping the defense by getting that running game going?
Well, it's not only helping the defense, but it also helps the offense. It helps just the function. You need balance. We can't ask Luke every week to throw the ball 40, 45 times a game. And so we understand that the more effective we are running the ball, the more one-on-one matchups we're going to get on the perimeter with Deontay, with Draper, with some of our other tight ends and other weapons. And so lighter boxes, we got to be able to run the ball. Loaded boxes, we got to be able to throw the ball. The one thing I'll say about our offense that we've done a good job all year long is even when we haven't been able to run the ball, we've still done a really good job of time of possession. So I'm not a statistician. I don't track all that stuff, but I don't know how many 3 and outs we've had during the season. And we've been able to stay on the field and progress down the field. Now we need to stay on the field, progress down the field, and score points.
Time of possession. I know your defense, whether it shows up in time of possession or not, your defense has spent a lot of time on the field in these early games.
Yeah.
Talk about that. What do you do to help those guys? I mean, obviously running the ball, the offense, finishing drives, doing that stuff, but it seems like the defense has been on the field quite a bit.
Yeah, and it really boils down to conversion downs on both sides. So when you're looking at defense, are we getting third down stops so that we can get off the field? And then, like you said, on the flip side, are we getting third down conversions as an offense to kind of keep the chains moving and stay on the field? So even though it shows up in a defensive column and how long they're on the field, but it's very much attributed to what both sides are doing in those third downs.
How are you, Coach?
Good to see you again.
Good talking with you last night as well. I'll kind of touch up on some of what we discussed a little bit as well with, without Nathan Glades, I mean, it's really caused a lot of other guys to be put in these, positions at very young ages. I mean, when you kind of look at that front of it, and in some cases it's like a bit of an impossible situation for them, but
Sure.
How do you go about now going from where you were at 0-3 into now going forward, establishing that run game with Deshaun and Victor and kind of moving forward from there?
Yeah, I think first thing is, I think the biggest thing is we acknowledge there's a difference between Nathan and our other backs. But I think it's also important to acknowledge there's a reason that those 2 young men are here. They're here because they're capable football players that can help us win football games. And so I don't care if you're a freshman, a redshirt senior, a sophomore. When it's your time to step up, you got to step up. And those 2 have, and they've gotten better each week. We just don't get the fortune of playing 2 or 3 cupcakes for them to get warmed up and roll. And so you're seeing them develop right in front of our eyes, and they're getting better with each game and each carry.
Luke has really, been off the charts in terms of his performances those last couple of weeks. Even though he hasn't necessarily translated to wins, he's been phenomenal in terms of the passing game.
Yep.
I mean, when you look at how well you guys have established that, what are you looking to take with that aspect of it going into this next game that you've got?
Well, we ask a lot out of our guys, and not just Luke. We ask a lot out of Deontay. We ask a lot out of Draper, Dimitri Lloyd, Trace Wilhite. We ask a lot out of those offensive guys that we can lean on them. And I think passing-wise, we just got to continue to what we're doing. But I think the piece that will really unlock it even more so is being able to run the ball, so we can get some one-on-one matchups on the outside and get some lighter boxes and start to play the numbers game a little bit more than we have been able to.
Number 5 last year. I mean, is it kind of the same team that you're kind of looking at with the physicality and type of resilience that you had last year?
Yeah,
or is it a bit of a different group?
I'm just telling you guys, I've competed against Coach Wright for many years. The most recent is as a head coach, but he was a part of building that program years ago as, I believe, a graduate assistant and assistant coach. So he's no stranger to coaching good football. He'll get his team ready to prepare, and they'll be down here, and they're going to – man, I don't care what their record is. They always have a shot. And so we're excited to compete them, whether they're number 5, number 10, number 25. We want to get an MIAA win, and we don't care who it is. And so our opportunity this week is Northwest Missouri.
Thanks, Coach.
Appreciate you guys.
Thank you, Coach. Appreciate it.
What's going on? My name is Deontay Campbell, senior tight end from Montgomery, Alabama. I major in general studies, and after I plan on pursuing my dream of playing in the NFL.
Deontay, first question, kind of just a personal note. You're starting to really miss that first game, and you're just trying to get involved in the offense now, obviously, and that huge performance at Mo West. So, health-wise, how are you kind of feeling right now?
I feel pretty good. Been in the training room more, kind of twice a day, getting in, trying to stay active. Yes, I missed the first game, and I feel like it was a decision just to be made, just for me to be able to perform.
And obviously, you had that big performance last week. So, how comfortable are you feeling in this offense right now moving forward?
I'm very comfortable. It's definitely more work needed to be done, but as far as that, like, I'm comfortable. We just have to get guys on the same page so we can get the ball rolling for us.
What kind of mistakes do you guys need to clean up going into this game next week?
One thing I will say, like, I feel like if guys just get bought in, that's really all it is to it, and guys really want to put it all on the line, like play for one another. Because every game, I'm gonna give it my all, and I expect them to do the same as well.
What's the tight end room like? I know that's a group. Look at that smile. That says it all right there, doesn't it?
Yeah, they real funny guy. They're funny. They're hilarious. But they're some hard workers. They gonna put the time in, extra film time. We get together all the time outside of coaching, telling us, we have meetings. They're willing to learn, and they're willing to go to work. For sure.
Tight end, a unique position. Not only do you have to catch passes, but you have to block a lot of assignments. Talk about, how there's a lot of work, as you said, not only in the film room, but away from the film room, in the weight room. You got to be able to do a lot more than probably any other position on the field. Do you think that position is kind of underrated for everything you have to do?
I feel like it depends, but kind of. But at the end of the day, like, we all have to put in the work. We all gotta do it. We know what we signed up for. So that's how I feel about it.
Thank you.
What's going on?
At this point, obviously not where you guys want to be. But you've had some terrific performances on the field, including on Saturday where you turned in plus 100-yard game, a couple one-handed catches as well. So, in terms of how the offense looks against this team coming up this week, where are you guys mentally right now, and how are you guys trying to work your way out of the deficit?
Mentally, it's still the same goal, and it's very doable. This conference, I feel like it's up for grabs, and we took a L, and right now we're in a slump, but we're gonna get this handled for sure.
And when you look at kind of the film of their defense and how the Bearcats kind of run things, what are some challenges that they present to you?
They're a very physical team, and they're a very, very disciplined team, and I feel like our goal is we just have to we can't really make too many mental errors, because I feel like once we make those mental errors, they can really capitalize off that, and that's what we plan on doing for sure.
Young star, you've made a lot of watch lists, Senior Bowl, Shrine Bowl, all that sort of thing. I know it's about the team, but when you talk about the performances you're turning in so far, how special is it for you to kind of be recognized like that?
It's an honor. Like, I'm really thankful. Like, this is really like a dream come true, but it's still work to be done, and right now my focus is really just on the season. Thank you.
How's it going? I'm Marco Collins. I'm a senior defensive back. My major is general studies, and after this, I plan on pursuing my dream of playing at the next level.
First of all, the first question for you, just kind of talk about, on last week's game, you guys got off to a little bit of a slow start. Mo West just kind of run the ball right down your guys' throat. So coming into this week, you got off to a good start in the second half of that game. So, how do you kind of, mesh things together to make sure you got off to a good start in this week's game?
So I think it really just comes down to preparation. We just got to prepare better, you know what I'm saying, and just be more consistent, stacking good plays. We came out pretty strong that second half. I know you guys saw that. So if we could just be more consistent and stack days and make good plays and stop the run, and I think we'll be all right.
You kind of talk about stopping the run. How for a defensive back, how challenging is that to go up to stop the run like that?
It gets kind of hard, as a next level defender, but it's all about just getting to the ball, and that's one thing we stress every day in the defensive room is just getting to the ball so we could just stop guys and just have all hats to the ball.
Going against Northwest, a team that's kind of like Mo West, a lot of roster turnover, younger quarterback. So how you kind of attack a team like that going into this week?
I think you just, like you said, they're a younger team. I think you just go out there with your older guys and just compete. You know what I'm saying? I think experience matters a lot in this game, so I feel like we have more experience, and I think we'll show that this Saturday.
What's the defensive back room like?
We're good. We have some mistakes, but we are very good at moving on and focusing on that next play and keeping our confidence up.
Accountability within that room pretty high?
Yes, the accountability is very high. We have very high expectations. We just, like I said, we stack days. Just take it game by game, week by week, play by play.
You're from Grandview. We talked earlier. What's it like to be able to have your family be able to come down here and watch you play against you talked about Mo West playing kids that you had played when you were in high school. Probably the same thing with Northwest. What's that like for you?
It's amazing, So coming from Murray State in Kentucky, it was 8 hours away, so it was far from home. So sometimes my family wasn't able to make it up. Being 2 hours from home here, it's a lot better because the whole family come down and support. And it's always amazing to get their support.
What's going on, Marco? Defensively, it's been some struggles, and there are a lot of positive things also that's been happening. But I just kind of want to talk about what they present in terms of challenges for you guys. What are some of the things that you're paying attention to on film right now that kind of make it stick out a little bit?
Really, I'm trying to see what they like to do in their passing game, and you got to look at personnels and stuff. So right now, I'm just focusing on what they do on base downs and stuff, and what their main formations are. So I'm just breaking it down. As a DB room, we're breaking it down. So we're gonna figure it out. We're gonna get to work.
Last week, obviously, the running game was pretty difficult for you guys, especially with Brandon Hall and how things went down. But going into this week, and you just talked about the passing game. What are some things that their rushing game kind of presents to you guys as well?
Really, they have some big guys on their O-line, you know what I'm saying? So our D-line, I feel like we'll match well with them, you know what I'm saying? So it's just going to come down to execution and competing, They're a big team, and they have a lot of good players, but I feel like we have a lot of good players as well, and we just have to show that.
This is the MIAA. It's a very tough conference, but you guys 0-3 right now. What are some things mentally that you're trying to do to get back on track?
Really, this week is just about keeping our composure and keeping our confidence. Not going into a deep slump. Yeah, we're 0-3 right now, but like I said earlier, we just have to take it game by game, and we just got to stay more consistent instead of we're more of an up and down team right now. So if we could just stay consistent, I think we'll be all right.